Teacher Paul here, and today we have a copy request by Travis who says, everyone has their own opinions on who is the best Aussie comedian. Let me know in the comments. Travis says, this one is mine. So let me know, guys, who is the best Australian comedian in your opinion? Let's go. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And join us on Twitch. We're live on Twitch with a lot of Aussies here. So guys, Aussie. We're doing an Aussie check to see who is live right now. Let's go.
Give all your love for the wonderful talents of Mr. Steve Hughes!
Steve Hughes.
Thank you. The rest of you relax. I'm thinking the same thing looking at you people. So.
I think this is going to be very politically correct humor.
You freaks. And don't worry, there's no need to buy a big issue off me. So.
A big issue? What?
Which, by the way, I hope you're decent enough people to do buy the big issue. At least, give some money to homeless people. I hope you're not those people that go, no. I only give my money to registered charities. That way, I know where my money's going. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You're not morally superior. You're just gullible and conformist. I know exactly where my money's going, to this bloke with 3 socks and no shoes. And now it's going to the off-licence.
The off-licence. Wow.
It's perfectly acceptable as far as I'm concerned. Well, that's their big moral high ground a lot of the time, You don't give these people money. No. They'll just spend it on drink and drugs. What do you think I was going to spend it on?
So he's basically saying, why are you judging him while you were going to do the same thing?
Hypocrites.
Hypocrites.
What kind of weird world do we live in where they go, don't associate with people less fortunate than yourself who have to live in the street, who have no money? Don't help them out by having a conversation or giving them a few coins. Don't do that. Why don't you just send the money to us and we'll make sure they get it. Anyway, it's wonderful to be. I'm from Australia.
Okay, so let me just say one thing. In the UK, there is a huge distrust with charities because there have been so many misfortunes and things that we literally can't trust because of the whole thing that has been, like the things in the news that we see, like scandals with charities and them not giving it to, like the money not going to where they say it's going, and it's just a big money grab, and it's the worst thing you can do. Literally, they're literally just taking advantage of people's good fortune, and it just sucks. Is it the same thing in Australia? I feel like it's the same thing like around the world. People just take advantage of that.
Actually, although I have an English father, Australian mother, some Scottish bloke said that makes me Welsh, so...
Just the mix.
Being in England for many years now, I understand, all of you, and myself included, we all have to live under the weird and oppressive regime of health and safety regulations. Which is very strange, isn't it? Because, Remember in the old days before health and safety? Remember when it was called common sense? Remember those days? Many years ago, when you used to go, look, there's a great big deep hole. Will I step in it? No, I'll just walk around it like that. Well, how'd you manage to learn to do that? Well, my parents taught me not to be a moron.
I must add one thing. Common sense only, like, it went out the window, I think, when the cell phone, like the smartphone, was made. Because even though we do kind of like know not to step into the hole, lots of people are on their phones, not looking. Spatial awareness has disappeared. People don't have spatial awareness nowadays. People don't even have common sense after, like, the brain rot out there, like TikTok, like this new distraction that we have. It just we don't function anymore with like we used to.
I just kind of carried it on from there. See, the Dutch, they'll treat you like an adult. You're in Amsterdam. You're in
That's
a city.
true,
They sell
Travis.
pot, they sell mushrooms, there's trams, there's buses, there's cabs, there's push bikes with women, with kids strapped to the front of them. There's a road next to a canal. Is there a fence? No. No. No fence. England, there'd be a big sign, big fence. Don't go in the water. Don't all fall in the water and drown. Don't go in. Amsterdam, is your bike wet? Yeah. Well, you're on the wrong bit, mate.
If your bike's wet, then yeah, you're on the wrong lane.
And then we have political correctness, which is this joy that is the other side of health and safety, which is a small oppression of our physical movement, so we can't do anything without permission from the state. And political correctness is the oppression of our intellectual movement, so no one says anything anymore in case somebody else gets offended. What happens if you say that and someone gets offended?
That's true.
Well, they can be offended. What's wrong with being offended? When did sticks and stones made break my bones stop being relevant? Isn't that what you teach children, for God's sake? That's what you teach toddlers. He called me an idiot. Don't worry about him. He's a dick.
Here on YouTube, as a YouTuber myself, it is very hard for you to kind of say anything nowadays because people will get offended. And even this statement, when I say, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone, people are like, I'm offended that you would think that I would take offense to such a simple thing. That is the craziest thing, though. Oh, when you say, I'm sorry if this offended you, and people are like, I'm offended that you think I'm that sensitive.
Now you have adults going, I was offended, and I have rights. Well, so what? Be offended. Nothing happens.
You have the right to be offended.
You're an adult. Grow up. Deal with it.
Yeah, but words hurt.
I don't care. Nothing happens when you're offended. There's nothing. I went to the comedy show, and the comedian said something about the Lord, and I was offended. And when I woke up in the morning, I had leprosy.
What?
Nothing happens. I want to live in a democracy, but I never want to be offended again. Well, you're an idiot.
Isn't it funny that the same people who are offended kind of defend free speech? It's like, what?
How do you make a law about offending people? How do you make it an offence to offend people? Being offended is subjective. It has everything to do with you as an individual or a collective or a group or a society or a community, your moral conditioning, your religious beliefs. What offends me may not offend you. And you want to make laws about this? I'm offended when I see boy bands, for God's sake.
Come on.
It's a valid offence. I'm offended. They're corporate shills posing as musicians to further a modelling career, and frankly, I'm disgusted. Right?
Further a modeling
What am I
career?
going to do? Call the cops? Hello, it's me again.
The fact he said again.
They're on the telly this time. 5 of them, that's it. Yeah, white suits dancing like girls, that's them. 5 minutes, I'll be out the front traumatised. Bye.
If you were offended by this, I am not going to say anything else. Oh, man. No, honestly. And nowadays we have boy bands that have like 17 people in the band. That's crazy. I don't even know how they manage to kind of like how do people manage to memorize all the names and literally there are bands out there with 17, 20 people. It's it's like, how do you even pay a decent salary for all of them? Yeah, K-pop also, but it's not only exclusive to K-pop. There's this one that I actually really enjoy, which is called Now United. They have like one member from every country, which is pretty cool. But how does it like logistically work? It's crazy. I can't remember all the names, and I know why they did it. I like the whole format, but it's crazy to think like, how do they manage like, and who am I gonna like when they're all on screen? Who am I gonna look at? Like, it used to be a time like where it was just a band, and then you had your favorites, but that's it.
And now we can't smoke anywhere either. No smoking. No. For our health. No, it's not. It's for control. No smoking. Can we still buy cigarettes? Of course. Where can we smoke them? Nowhere.
You don't want the industry to go
Smoke
down.
them in the woods under a blanket with a torch.
That
When
is
it's raining, then health and safety regulations do stipulate that.
no, but you can't. If you go into a forest under a blanket smoking, you could have the blanket catch fire, and then that would create a forest fire. So that's still a no-no too.
If you think it's about health, it's not. It's about control. And there's an easy way to understand this because the Irish were the first to stop smoking in pubs. Now, who saw that coming? Not the Irish. I'd love to have been there the day they told them. What? It's us. We're first.
I like the accent.
Come on, no. In pubs. But we live in pubs. I tried to give them up. I tried to give up cigarettes. I bought a book on addiction. And said apparently in this book, if you're addicted to something, when you give it up, you replace it with something else. Like a hobby. Huh? So I did a pottery course. Huh? Yeah, first day, everyone made ashtrays. Huh?
Everybody made ashtrays.
It was a crap plan, you know, and very embarrassing after sex as well. Yes. You were great, baby. Yeah, I've made you a pot. Thank you very much. Have a brilliant night. Hope you enjoy yourself.
I like these type of smart, intelligent comedy, you know. I honestly hope there were no Irish offended with this. No, but on a serious note, guys, I love these type of comedy shows and smart humor. Like intelligent humor is something that is pretty cool, you know. And I know that it's subjective depending on the generation also, because if you look at humor from back in the day. Yesterday I was watching a Charlie Chaplin documentary. Not documentary, it was actually the RDJ. What's his name again? Robert Downey Jr. Chaplin movie. And some of the comedy that I think that was really intelligent for back in the day. Nowadays, we've seen it so many times. We call it slapstick comedy now, but that's why I'm saying it's subjective. But this type of kind of like comedy that makes you think and makes you kind of like, I know that in a few years this might be obsolete. People will be like, wait, isn't that a common thing to do this and that? People would kind of like not understand it because things will change so much that people were like, wait, people were like, for example, if you talk to someone of the new generation and say, yeah, you like, remember when they used to smoke in airplanes? They're going to be more shocked than funny, or like they won't understand the reference, because smoking in airplanes, what are you talking about? They will be more confused than anything else. So yeah, but I like these type of comedy. Like it makes you think. And I think nowadays people we kind of forgot how to think for ourselves. Like critical thinking is something that is becoming rare nowadays. And I always use this reference with a calculator. If you live by the calculator, you'll never learn how to do math in your head. It's the same thing nowadays. We have ChatGPT, we have like Google. If you don't learn how to critical think by yourself, then you're always going to depend on a tool, which makes life easier, right? So back in the day, people used to learn how to do math in their minds, in their heads. And nowadays, if you ask someone, hey, what's 5 times 10? Oh, maybe that's too easy, but what's 5 times 7? People will take a long time to think and answer, or use the calculator, which is, common sense these days. Why use your head to do simple maths? If you have a calculator, just pull it out and I have the answer. So that's become the new common sense. Just use a tool rather than just doing the hard work. Work smart. So things are shifting and people are becoming more dependent on tools than rather using their mind, which is fine, I guess. You get things done faster. You don't need to learn how to do multiplication anymore. You don't need to store things in your mind anymore. Just use your Google, and I guess that makes it faster. But anyways, we are living different times and things are going to get more AI based. And who knows, maybe you're actually watching AI right now. Who said I'm real? I'm kidding. Or am I? Guys, join us on Twitch. Go over to Buy Me Coffee. Let me know what you thought of this. Thank you, Travis, for the request. And go over to My Australia Playlist to check more. Bye-bye.